che senza Don Fernando non avrebbe aperto il negozio di tessuti, il Ville de Paris, non so se lo conoscete.
Sì, lo conosciamo,
sì.
certo.
Questo è per Don Fernando.
E ad un simbolo per tutti gli imprenditori, lui che ha saputo trasformare la sua azienda.
There once was a dream that was Rome. You could only whisper it. Anything more than a whisper, and it would vanish. It was so fragile. So said Marcus Aurelius, played by Richard Harris in the movie Gladiator. But here we are a couple of thousand years later, and Rome still stands, the eternal city, a marvel for any visitor and one of the jewels of the globe. My name is Russell Crowe, and I am a former general who became a slave, who became a gladiator, but that was a long time ago. And now I'm simply honored to be talking to you as the Ambasciatore di Roma nel Mondo, the ambassador for Rome in the world. I'm very sorry I can't be with you, as I'm currently on tour with my band, and I'm soon to be on stage within the legendary Cinecittà Studios in Rome for a concert there on June 25th. It's going to be magical, because Rome always is. Rome is not just the capital city of Italy. It is one of the great capital cities of the world, a place of and for everyone, a city that has always opened its arms to all of humanity. Rome Expo 2030, we are ready. At my signal, unleash humanity.
Hello, I'm Mia Ciurana, will be your guide through this brief presentation of Rome's candidacy for Expo 2030. I will not be alone on this stage. The first person that I would like to call to be here with me is a young girl you have seen in the video we just watched, Elisa. Come here. I called you Elisa, but you're also known as Gaia. Do you know why?
Gaia means earth in Greek.
There you go, she knew it. So this is exactly what we're aiming at, capturing this young generation core values, such as sustainability, inclusiveness, but not only this. How old will you be in 2030?
17 and a half.
17 and a half. That's exactly where we decided to start from, the voice of the younger generation. Let's watch.
Unire le cose, il fatto della natura e della città, anche perché chi lo dice che la città deve essere cemento, palazzi, strade e macchine? La città può essere benissimo un albero.
Ci saranno più... secondo me no, cambierà praticamente niente.
Io nel 2030 avrò 18 anni.
A 18 anni io vorrei un luogo in cui tutti stanno bene. Le persone possono guadagnarsi da vivere.
Gli occhiali secondo me nel futuro diventeranno migliori.
Roma me la immagino nel 2030, molto più tecnologica rispetto ad ora e con tantissime nuove invenzioni. Io vedrò la città più diversa, così diversa che non la conoscerò forse mai.
Buongiorno a tutti. Bonjour, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. So I would say the stakes have never been as high as this for Expos. It's not only about thinking about who's going to host the 2030 Expo. It's really thinking about how Expo can really help us as humanity, can help us tackle the big challenges of our time. And in order to do it, as you just saw, we really started from children, listening to dreams and hope for children, to see actually what will be the key challenges that will be faced in 2030 and beyond. And one of the key things we started with in our design is really looking at a big challenge that we heard about before, but looking at new ways to solve it. It's about the alliance between the natural and the artificial world. If you look at many of the issues we face today, we could say actually come from the fact that in the 20th century, there was a broken relationship between the two poles, between the natural and the artificial. And so how can we actually look at a new alliance, at a way to bring together us with other people and with nature, to find a new alliance in the way we connect people and territories. In other terms, in order to make city what a city is. A city since 10,000 years ago is actually this beautiful device that brings us together. And so by listening to kids, we started dreaming with them. We started dreaming, and we started dreaming of an energy community featuring in Rome at the Expo site, the world's largest urban solar park. We started dreaming about, could you see the next slide? I had asked for a clicker, but I was told it wasn't possible. A fast-moving district, how we can actually look at how new technologies can change the way we move and come together. And that will be the site as a lab, as a living lab. And then a living lab that really connects both the digital and physical world. Today, our reality is kind of a mixed one, is a hybrid one, and how we combine the two and turn that into new architecture, clearly for Rome, but for all of us, for all of you, for all the planets, for all the countries to experiment on the Expo site. Yes, so a living lab is really how innovation can be at the core of that, can be at the core of the project, of the design, of the master plan. And this is really something we can all leverage, again, to tackle the big global challenges we said. The next one. And so we're saying, the Expo ultimately is like a city. It's a temporary city, but it's a place of encounters. And the important thing is that every country has the same seat at the table. So we are all around the Expo site in the same way, and together we can again find new solutions for today's challenges. The next one. And clearly to do it, we need values. And our values, I think, need to be at the core of what we're discussing here today. And clearly diversity, equity, inclusion, and democracy. We think are something that has to be there. The next one. So we are talking a lot about making new cities and building new cities. But the reality is, a lot of the things we need to do on the planet is start reusing what we already have. And what a better place to reuse than a place that for thousands of years has been constantly experimenting with the circular economy, looking at the past in order to invent the future. The next one. So somehow this is all about a master plan is about 2030, but it's also about the legacy. And this legacy should be a legacy both for the city, but should be a legacy for all of us, for all of you. And the legacy, it's really about how the Expo site can become a giant innovation district, a place where, again, every country participating will keep having a seat at the table beyond 2030. And the next one. So I wanted to summarize that these are the key points that inspired the master plan and what we've been doing as designers. But if I had to summarize this in one word, it is about together. It's about how can we use this great opportunity to come together. It means coming together on the Expo side, but coming together as humanity and coming together with the natural and the artificial world. So coming together is a way that really will help us to tackle the challenges we face and to build together a better tomorrow. Thank you.
So, yes, we did listen to children, but we couldn't stop there. We needed to make sure that all walks of lives were represented, that all voices were heard. So this is what you will hear right now, a person talking about how important it is to merge people who come from different sceneries. And then you will hear someone telling us about how we aim to build something that will last. And finally, there will be a person with a view from space who will be able to tell us more about the material and immaterial legacy of Rome Expo 2030. So let's dive in. Let's start from someone who knows very well how important it is to create long-lasting relationships. From her point of view, Africa, Italia, but she will tell us more about this. Please welcome on stage Mehret Tewolde.
Good afternoon. I was born in Asmara, the capital of Eritrea, which is also known as a Little Rome. But today, I'm not here as one of the many foreigners of origin who have been Italian for a long time. I'm here today to emphasize how a universal exposition must and can help strengthen, revitalize, and initiate long-term economic and commercial partnership. There are two key considerations to develop lasting partnership, as we do at Italia Africa Business Week since many years. The first is to know each other, also beyond stereotypes. Throughout our activities, we realized that interconnection were based on mistaken patterns of Italian entrepreneurs towards the African economy and vice versa. The second is that it is indispensable to establish an equal and stable relationship to create value and share value. In fact, in the depth mutual understanding over long term has allowed Italian and African business realize that the backbone of economy of both part is made by medium and small-sized company. You know, the secret of success is very simple. Know each other and create growth and development on both sides of the partnership, of course. In this way, we can contrast and combat the inequality by growing together and developing communities, always placing people at the center. For us, this is what Expo means, including, sharing, and grow together. That's why supporting Expo in Rome means supporting your industries, your business, and not only the largest one, but all of them. And please remember that every business is made up of people, the heart of each enterprise, each community, and each society. So let's meet in Rome in 2030. We are waiting for you to build together a new, fruitful alliance. We are waiting you in Rome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehmet. So now, many of you may be familiar with the Italian cooking, with Italian approach to music, but there's also a uniquely Italian way of cooperating, which can be a huge asset for Expo 2030. Now, the man who will be on stage here soon, whose NGO has been operating for over 50 years in 40 countries, knows this very well. Giampaolo Silvestri, please.
Mia, yes. Do you know how much Italian cooperation is worth?
No, but I'm here to learn, so.
I wanted to give you a number, 60. 60 years. The story of Italian cooperation started 60 years ago. I joined this journey in 1996, when I began my missions to Latin America, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. This story is made up of thousands of successful projects that keep at their center the human dignity of every single person. I want to give you another number, $6 billion. This is how much Italy spends every year for thousands of development projects, reaching millions of people. But numbers are not enough. I would like to give you a picture of how the Italian cooperation brings together the willingness to reach the last mile with the ability to carry out advocacy actions. Imagine being in a developing country. Our staff will do anything they can to reach even the last child in the most remote village. If they can't do it on a jeep, they will continue on a motorbike or even by bike. If a flood happens, they will put on their boots and they go on foot. In one way or another, they will get there. At the center of each project, there are the needs, desires, and rights of every human being. The Italian cooperation represents an entire country, its international partnership and relationship, the civil society, local administration, university, the private sector, small and medium enterprises, the diaspora communities in Italy. This is what we call multi-stakeholder approach, the real added value of the Italian cooperation. This is the heart of the new vision introduced by Mattei Plan that Italy is about to launch. Starting from the best practices in development cooperation, this plan aims to scale them up. There is a whole country cooperating, and 2030 Expo is not coming out of nothing. It's the natural development of these 60 years of cooperation. We're waiting for you in Rome, because our future is your future.
Samantha Cristoforetti, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, from space, Earth is a majestic beauty with no borders, a pale blue dot, just like the pavilion we will build in Rome for Expo 2030. It's a grand vision, I believe. But make no mistake, I'm not here to talk to you about a vision. I'm here to talk to you about a project with clear goals, milestones, and deadlines. For us, the planning of the bid dossier for Expo 2030 started with thinking about what its legacy will be, what will be left behind once Expo is over. In other words, what will begin and not end in October 2030. So let's be concrete. And first of all, let me highlight something quite unique. The site of Rome 2030 is the only one among the competing cities that includes a hospital, a major university, and multiple advanced research institutions, including the Italian Space Agency. So, keeping that in mind, let's go back to the legacy. And let me highlight 6 points. Legacy is education. Young, brilliant minds from all over the world will be able to study and work at the site of Expo 2030. Legacy is research. Researchers from all over the world at the site will have access to a unique network of laboratories and research centers to create innovation and new knowledge. Legacy is new innovative businesses based on that innovation and knowledge that will bring growth throughout the international community. Legacy is hybrid. Through a digital platform we will implement, people will be able to work together, both in presence and remotely, creating a living, thriving community. Legacy is return of investment, because those growth opportunities will not stay in Rome or in Italy for that matter. Students, researchers, young graduates, young talents, young professionals from all over the world eventually will go back to their countries, your countries, to share those opportunities for business and growth and innovation. Legacy is, above all, sharing. The Expo is by its nature universal, because universal must be the benefits that the whole international community derives from Expo. To share, to include, is in our DNA as Italians. It's part of our way of thinking, of our way of living. And therefore, this is the legacy that we envision for Expo 2030, a trail of progress through the international community that brings nations together around the goals of sustainable development. And so let me end on a poetic note, back to vision, back to space even. Space is the most beautiful. The Earth is the most beautiful from space. It's the most beautiful planet. It's the greenest. It's the bluest. And it will be even more beautiful when you come to Rome in 2030. So join us in Rome in 2030, everyone, to build our legacy together. Our legacy for our kids, all of our kids, the kids of beautiful planet Earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha Cristoforetti. Gaia, have you ever met an astronaut before?
No.
Is that a job you'd like to do?
Maybe more a head of state.
A head of state? Well, then it's your lucky day. There's plenty here. There's our head of state that you're going to meet right now, Giorgia Meloni.
Well, Mr. Secretary General, Mr. President of the General Assembly, dear delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I want to wish the best luck to Riyadh and Busan for their candidatures, and I want to bring a warm thank to my colleagues who have just spoken, the promoting committee, the testimonials who have shared their experiences, the young Gaia. I'm truly honored to be here today to convey to you how much Italians, all of us, believe in the candidature of Rome to host the Expo 2030. It is a challenge that our nation at all levels is pursuing with great enthusiasm. I am thrilled to be here to talk to you about Rome, for it's the eternal city, it's the capital of Italy, it's the city where I was born. A fundamental part of my deep-rooted identity. And identity is indeed the most precious thing that belongs to each and every one of us. For this reason, and many more, I hope to be successful in this difficult and exciting task that I have today, which is to convince you to choose Italy, Rome, to host the World Expo in 2030, the year in which we will assess the results of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the year which will make the centenary of the Bureau International des Expositions. I could speak about what Rome has represented in the past and what it represents today. I could tell you that it is the universal city by excellence, the first megalopolis in history, that has lived and continues to live by constantly regenerating itself. I could remind that Rome is the capital of dialogue among the great monotheistic religions, that it is home to dozens of international organizations, that it is a global city and has been so for thousands of years. I could reiterate that it is a capital of culture, one of the world's biggest university hubs, and home to the largest university in Europe, as well as to cutting-edge research and technology centers. A city with an ancient heart that beats to the rhythm of history, a history in which it has been and is an absolute key player. But what I'm going to tell you instead is that these specific characteristics, the combination of ancient roots and technological modernity, are the ones that inspired our project and give substance to our proposal. We believe that since its beginnings, the World Expo has always been much more than a world exhibition. It is the story of an era and the imaginary design of the next. Expos chart a course, and Rome intends to do the very same. People and territories, regeneration, inclusion, and innovation is the theme of the Expo of Rome. Means people and their rights at its heart, integrating with their surrounding environment, sustainability, lasting partnership between nations, responsible and inclusive cooperation with the most vulnerable, an ambitious legacy of progress for the international community. These are the cornerstones of our project, and these are the reasons to choose Rome. We are proposing to all our partners to show together that it is possible to build a large-scale project without spoiling the land. This is why our exhibition site will be innovative and completely sustainable. It will be the largest solar park ever to be built in a city. And each pavilion will produce clean energy, feeding into the shared grid. We are proposing that nations work together on concrete projects until 2030 to demonstrate how the international community can grow by working together in the collective interest. I'm referring to lasting and sustainable partnership. In Rome, every nation will find its own space as an equal among equals and has the chance to showcase its identity, no matter how big or small you may be. In Rome, we know that everyone has something unique to offer, and we want them to contribute on a level playing field. In our view, this is the essence of a responsible and inclusive cooperation, and this is why we are ready to take action to ensure equal opportunities, also from a financial standpoint, for the widest possible participation in our World Expo. Furthermore, the Rome Expo will not end after its 6-month display. The pavilions will remain available to all nations who request it, to enable them to keep a representation of themselves, to establish research and technology centers, to preserve a window of dialogue. Our legacy, the legacy of the World Expo in Italy, aims to build a pathway to progress for the international community, to show how our goals for the millennium can be achieved that they are not just words, and that the relationship between people and their environment can be really improved by working together. Choosing to host World Expo 2030 in Rome means choosing all of this. One of the most intellectual minds of all time, which was Wolfgang Goethe, wrote that in Rome, the entire history of the world is interwoven. Choose Rome. Let's bring together history in the future. Ci vediamo a Roma. Grazie.